Hey Gems, welcome to your August reading. Thank you for joining me. My name is Bailey. If you're new to me, I am an esoteric practitioner. I use tarot, astrology, general mysticism, channeling, and magic to help you to navigate all of this. Let's get into it. Gemini, we start out the month on the 8th with the Lionsgate portal. I mean, we're in it now, but it reaches its zenith around the 8th and stays with us for a while. Now, what this is Sirius, our sister star of a higher vibrational, higher octave of consciousness, beams itself through the sun and through Orion's belt and floods our nervous system with this higher vibrational energy. Now, if you give yourself space to be receptive and to put down the busyness and the mental chatter, sometimes we try to impose upon these alignments what we want. We're trying really hard to manifest, right? If you just sit back and receive this, there's going to be an ease and a grace to it that puts you in the right alignment where you don't have to work so hard to hustle and to manifest. It's just, you're going to be in the right places at the right time in this good, orderly direction. So tune in around the 8th, and even right now, I mean, in my own life, I can feel it getting higher. Now, for those people around you that are not necessarily on a spiritual path, this might turn into a bit of a frenetic energy where people are just on heightened alert. Nerves might be really frazzled because this is really a neurological situation that's happening. These are neurological upgrades. So try and have patience for those around you that that aren't into it. You also might see this play out on the world stage in a number of different ways. So stay tuned for that. Put your helmet on. Okay, Gemini, they say don't trust a big butt and a Gemini but I suggest that you keep it juicy and eat that lunch this month. You have got such cool stuff happening in your 4th and 5th houses of home and family and fun and joy and creativity and kids and romance, respectively. So like, Gemini, you tend to be a bit of a workaholic sometimes. I mean, they always say the Capricorn's the workaholic. Meh, I don't know, Gemini. I think it's you a lot of times. And so this month, you're gonna have the opportunity to sit back and enjoy the rewards from the months and months of hustle and of being a little blindsided by things when they come up. And I just want to compliment you on how flexible and adaptable you've been. I mean, that's kind of your MO anyway, but I feel like that's been an overtime sort of situation for you. So, okay, so the Lionsgate is coinciding with a new moon in Leo. And this is happening in your 3rd house of communication. You rule this house, right? So it's going to hit you harder than other people. And when I say hit, I don't mean like, I mean like this energy is going to heighten anything that you have going on right now. So what this can look like is new moons are signal the dark night before the dawn, right? We're purging, we're releasing, things are disappearing from us, we're ending things, right? We're entering a new moon cycle. So you're wanting more transparency in the communications that you're having. You're wanting other people to maybe be a little bit more transparent and forthcoming with where they're really at, so that you don't have to be the human computer and see where they're, like, try and guess into where they're coming from, even though you're usually right, because that intuition you have is nuts. It's nuts. You can really lead by example here, because I feel like you're really done with meaningless chatter or obfuscation or people trying to posture and position yourselves. You don't have time. You don't have time anymore to humor that and to think and try to gauge everybody's angles, although you're really good at it. You can lead by example here and show up with where you're actually at. Throw them cards right on the table, and don't worry so much about how other people are going to perceive you or what you want to project, because you are in alignment, Gemini. You've got the weight of the creative force of the universe behind you. You're on the vanguard of these changes that we're going through right now. So why is that? Because you're on the North Node. North Node's in Gemini right now. So that's why there's so much shit happening for you. You're literally plowing the field for us to plant. Weird analogies today. So yeah, lead by example. All right, what do we got? On the 11th, we've got Mercury going into your 4th house. Your thoughts turn inward, they turn homeward. If you wonder why I'm looking over here, I really need my notes today. Brain's not so good. Having deep talks with your family about health, maybe starting a new fun exercise thing with your family, going out and enjoying these days of summer. Because you've also got a lot of energy in your 5th house, which is fun and kids. If you have kids, do cool stuff with them. Get out. Maybe supporting each other in better and mundane ways, such as a chore calendar. Or on another note, the alignments kind of make me think about if you need to start talking to a loved one who is in old age about end of life care in a really healthy and positive way. So for some of you, I feel like that might be relevant. Cards fell on the floor. Okay, so yeah, plan fun times. Fun times need to be had. There's more balance that needs to come. And with other stuff moving into Libra, you're going to feel that pretty keenly. The first quarter moon in Scorpio is happening in your 6th house on the 15th. So your work, you might have to turn back to work for a minute and throw your back behind whatever imbalances there are in shared resources. First quarter moons really have to do with building a new energy, a new theme, a new 28-day cycle. Nope, getting confused. Never mind. Stop that. We're gonna edit that out, hopefully. On 15th, the first quarter moon occurs in Scorpio in your 6th house of daily routine, your work life, things like that. Something to do with shared resources in your work life may need attention. You'll have the energy to tackle some little difficulties with your health or work that you haven't really let anybody know that you're having. Those might become a little bit more evident if you haven't worked at resolving them or at giving them any attention. Okay, so if you need help, ask for it. There are people around that will support you. Again, that relates back to the new moon in Leo on the 3rd, is you showing up transparently. So let your struggles be known. Whatever you were experiencing on that new moon in the 8th will show up here in this experience. So look for some early results from that new moon energy. Okay? First, yeah, so struggle less today. Is this your energy that I'm feeling here, Gemini? Are you kind of on the struggle bus right now with your mental energy? Or is it the Lion's Gate? What is going on? All right, so let's get some relief. On the 16th, Venus enters your Libra 5th house. This is the planet of love and harmony and beauty in your house of children, fun, and creativity until September 10th. You've got so much time with this beautiful alignment of Venus being in her home sign of Libra. Make memories. Tell someone you're interested in how you feel. Do special things for yourself. Let yourself unleash some creativity. Bring more creativity and beauty into the mundane. And if anybody can do it, I know you can. You're such an outside of the box thinker. And I know a Gemini who brings so much fun to even the most stressful situations. So I honestly think that's a general Gemini trait, especially if you have Sagittarius placements. Yeah, have fun with that. That's crazy. This is crazy good energy for you this month. Now, having said that, on the 19th, Uranus retrogrades in your 12th house of institutions, mental health, subconscious, generally your shadow. And having Uranus in your shadow means that it's bringing up really unexpected stuff for you on a deep, deep level that you're having to work through. You're having to work through it's uncomfortable, Gemini. It's really uncomfortable, especially if it has to do with trauma or inevitabilities, things that you are moving towards that maybe you don't have any control in. But I want to highlight here that Uranus retrograding is really great for adapting to the reality that is happening for you on the exterior and taking that information and adjusting to it internally. Now, what can this look like? This can look like there have been changes to your interior landscape. Maybe you're aware of things about yourself that are uncomfortable for you, and you're seeing these things play out in your interactions with other people or in your attitudes towards the world. And at moments you may not really like yourself, and that's tough. And I hope that you're giving yourself a lot of love and compassion while you go through this, because this has been going on since 2018 for you. So there's a huge reinvention here until January 18th, where you take your spirituality, your philosophy, and your connection to others, and how things have changed in that area, and you're aware of your growth. If you've been uncomfortable with yourself, you're becoming aware of these areas of growth, and you're able to put things into context as opposed to being kind of a mystery to yourself lately. These spiritual changes that you'll be going through are really going to take root in January and February, where you're going to be able to just move through it with so much more grace and get ready for the new evolution. It's a big deal for you, Gemini, and I love this for you, because at the end of this Uranus cycle in this 12th house, in a few years, can't remember when, you are just going to be so reinvented on the inside. When it moves into your first house, you're going to be able to be this more of a dynamo than you already are. And if you're feeling helpless and powerless to change things in the world on a broader scale, you are going to be stepping into this area of being able to bring the thunder to things around you that need to be changed, and maybe even be able to speak and relate on a way that just blows people's minds on a grander scale, like you've got a megaphone, you know? So stay tuned for that. This is getting long. Your astrology is pretty deep this month, so I hope you want to stay with me on this. There's going to be an after party too. I'll tell you more about that at the end of the video. So at the end of the month, we got some shit happening. We got the full moon in Aquarius in your 9th house. And then on the same day, the sun moves into Virgo in your 4th house. So all of that cool home and family stuff that you were experiencing. This continues with Mercury joining Venus in your 5th house. So again, you're talking about love. You're talking about love in action. How to love each other more deeply at home and support each other more at home. This could also be, you're finding new sales channels, even really for your creative offerings. You're being contacted for your creativity. People want that juicy from you. Pivot your weight on the scales to experience all the facets of what bring you joy. Bring more joy into your world. And then you're conscientious of love and harmony. So you're really a peacemaker. You're a peacemaker. On the 30th, we've got last quarter moon in Gemini on the 1st. Does the appearance that you're projecting match what you want to attract? Question mark. What attributes of your projected self should fall back in order to get where you're trying to go? Are you walking the walk? These Uranus retrograding in your 12th house, again, this is a really good example of that, is you're going to be able to go, okay, this part of myself is kind of getting in my way of what I want to do. So being able to see yourself in that light and not be hard on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Just love it, understand why that part of you exists, and then go, okay, time to adjust and use the other twin to get it done. Alternatively, you may need to cut somebody out of your life that showed up around the full moon, around the 22nd. So keep an eye for, I feel like for some of you, this is someone who talked a big game, someone who was rather flattering. And then they saw your methods and they can't keep up with it. It confuses them and it makes them feel inadequate. And that feeling of inadequate gets projected onto you, like you're doing something wrong, because they're feeling really insecure about it. So let them remove themselves if they can't get with the program, in the nicest possible way. Okay, let's look at these cards. Lots of cards fell out. So we're gonna get a little bit more in depth in whatever goes on with these cards in the after party. You can go to there should be a link to my link tree in the description box below. You toss me $5 as a donation so I can afford a new camera. And we go deep and we get really casual and we let our hair down a little. So we start off with Judgment, the Hermit, and the Seven of Wands. So what this is looking like to me is that you're getting a bit of a replay. You're getting a bit of a review because you've been keeping a lot of things to yourself. Like you've been keeping those cards that we talked about earlier that we're going to put on the cards this month to yourself. And there's been a bit of a struggle. There's been a bit of a mismatch, maybe even some misunderstandings. And now that you've sort of understood the complexities of these interactions, now that you've kind of had some time to look inward about it, you're ready now to come forward and be really clear and honest about the things that didn't work out and how that's affected you and how that's affected the plan, the almighty Gemini plan. Things that you were really hopeful about that now you're pretty confused about, and maybe you're feeling like it's a little out of control. You know, things that you need to be in control of. And I feel like this is happening professionally for you, and in your groups, within your tribe, whatever you got going on, whoever's around you. I think it's a really good idea to let them in on this unsureness that you're having. And I'm hearing the word forum. have a forum. Put it on the table, go, you know what? This doesn't seem to be working. I am feeling not secure about this. I don't have a hard on for this information anymore. I don't have a hard on. I'm actually maybe you're getting a little bored, of the plan as it was and feeling a little constrained by it and not able to bring your creativity to it. And if I tell you what, Gemini, this is lining up so perfectly with your astrology, because this conversation can happen and with everything behind you saying, bring more creativity in. You're gonna have these urges, and I really think that is going to blow through everything that has been weighing you down, everything that you've been kind of meh about, that you've been losing interest in, because there's a lot of pressure around it because you have to maintain consistency with this thing that you're doing. And that's been causing you a lot of agita, a little bit of what is the word? When you're on digestion, bad digestion, whoa, brain problems. Okay. So where you've been feeling out of control, these things are actually going to get addressed and get resolved through you trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, and making space in your life and in your consciousness to go, I don't know. Anybody? We got some help here? I'm ready. I am open. I can't figure this out myself right now. Bring it. Let me live it. Let me get the energetic impulses. Let me be in the right place at the right time to just have an epiphany and know the answer. And that's going to come to you. High Priestess. There's so much of this high-powered energy in these cards that you can't help but win this month, Gemini. So just trust the process. It's uncomfortable, especially given all the stuff going on the inside that nobody can see. It makes you not want to trust yourself. Like there's a force within you that's out of your control that you can't plan for. Gemini baby, that's okay. That's okay. Because there is a direction to this. It's okay to be out of control, because that lack of control is actually going to be the crack that lets the light in. I know that's kind of cheesy, right? But it's the best way to describe it. There's a new way of thinking here for you. And controversial but brave, I really think the Two of Swords is the Gemini kind of eating itself, cannibalizing itself. So go ahead and cannibalize yourself. Let one twin eat the other one in utero. We're getting weird. And birth this new level of consciousness for you that is a little bit more single-minded, and it's the higher mind. It's the higher mind. It's a new level of duality for you, one that is more congruent with the inspiration, the constant source of inspiration that you need to have to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Because I feel like there's time constraints. And those time constraints, they're a source of tension for sure. But I'm having this feeling, this overwhelming sense of support for you in unseen places, Gemini. You're going to be rocked this month by just how much love and support are there for you when you are open, raw, and bringing forth your creativity, prioritizing your creativity and your joy. There's nothing Spirit loves more than you allowing yourself to have joy, because that love and joy is how Spirit can connect with you the strongest. Okay, we're gonna head on through to the after party. Hit up that link tree. Drop me 5 entire dollars and let's get weird. Love you, Gemini. Have a good month.